and welcome to Kirsty Does Stuff. I'm Kirsty and today we're talking about Hoyas. Now, up until 2 weeks ago, I had one Hoya and I wasn't even sure where it was or what I was doing with it or anything like that. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and about another 10 cuttings on the way. What happened? I just suddenly got sucked into the world of Hoyas. So I thought I'd come along today and show you what I've got just now, and also what I'm doing with them, how we're bringing them on. Because obviously most people's budget, I would imagine, you can't go out and buy 11 plants, fully grown plants off the bat, or you could, but you might be a bit short for the month. And I'm very much the same. So what I decided to do was buy cuttings, and I bought most of my cuttings from eBay, from Etsy, from sellers online, and they've come quite standardized really. The way they're sent and the way you receive them are quite, and the quality, to be honest, are quite much of a muchness. So what I did was, when I unboxed them all, I filmed that happening, and it was almost like every day for a couple of weeks I was getting another Hoya cutting, and to show you what they look like now. Now nothing's much has changed, there's not masses of roots or anything yet, but it's a kind of learning process. I have brought on cuttings before. Usually I just stick them in water, but this time I decided to use the perlite method. So I'll show you what I've got here and the different varieties that I've got. Okay, first of all, what we'll look at is the one that I had originally. Now, I can't even remember where this was situated in the house. I think I must have got a cutting originally. When you buy these sort of bundles of houseplant cuttings off Etsy or whatever, and they just send you whatever. And I think I must have had it from that, because I don't remember mentally going out and buying a Hoya. I'm not sure what kind it is. I would take a guess, in my uneducated state at the moment, as a carnosa, some kind of variegated carnosa. So it was up in my son's room, up in the attic, out of the way, I think, when we were decorating the bedroom, and then Christmas we had things up in the hall, so all the plants were shunted away from that area, and kind of forgotten about. And although they're quite drought tolerant, it wasn't that drought tolerant. It also got an infestation of mealybugs on it, so I've watered it a couple of times since then. I'm quite careful not to overwater it, because after a period of drought as well, the roots might not be in the best shape, so you don't want to flood it all the time. And also, as I say, Hoyas with their waxy leaves are quite used to not having water for periods of a time. They don't like too much that might make their roots rot. So in this case, I'll actually lift it up so you can see it. This is it. If anyone's a Hoya expert out there, they might be able to advise me. So the new growth comes in pink, can you see? And then settles down to the sort of the variegated state. I feel bad that I didn't treat it properly. I've never seen a peduncle on it. That's my new favourite word. I think that might have been one, maybe, where the offshoots, where they flower from, the peduncles. So maybe I'll get one, because it's a more mature plant now. And in the middle, there's only three main shoots. So what I would do is, well, once I find out a bit more about how to, I'll take some cuttings off this and then plant them back in the pot to make it a fuller plant. But I'm rather fond of it. I will go round with the old Q-tip or earbud or whatever you call them, with the alcohol in it, because there's still traces of mealybugs here and there. Don't know if you can see on the back of that leaf, there's some fluff, some white fluff, so I'll go round and might even spray it with the anti-beastie stuff as well, but we'll see. So that's the OG, that's the original Hoya that I've had. Now, so we'll try and do this in order that I received them, but I'm not quite quite sure of what that was. I think Hoya House from Etsy came first, and I've ordered some more from them. So this is Curtsy Eye, which seems to have popped out of its actual thing. So I'll just lift it out to show you. This is Curtsy Eye with a little bit of perlite stuck to it. It's very pretty, isn't it? It's a very pretty little delicate plant. So I'm going to pop it back in here. So I read up a bit about Hoya cuttings, and a good way to propagate them seems to be in little cups with perlite. And I soaked the perlite before I put them in it. These smaller cuttings are hard because normally you wouldn't have the leaves touching the medium that you've got it in case they rot, but it's kind of dry on the top anyway. And so yeah, I put them in here, and then I put them on a heat mat, and they're covered with a cloche. So they've got a bit of humidity, and they've got moisture, but not too much, and then they've got heat from the bottom because it's still very cold here in Scotland. So that's Curtsy Eye, which is going to be very pretty if and when hopefully it roots up. Don't know why it jumped out of where it's meant to be, but I'll give it another little water today. This is another one from Hoya House online. This is Hoya Lanceolata. Hoya Lanceolata Bella. Can you see that one? So that's quite a decent size cutting. You can see the root going down. I didn't, if you're wondering why I didn't put the roots in the middle, why I didn't just stick it in the middle of the pot, is because if it's at the side you can see where the roots are coming, and things sort of, historically I've been told, root better if they're at the side of a pot. You know, I don't know what it is, if it's the stability or you know, if you're doing a whole pot of cuttings you'd put them all the way around the outside of the pot. So hopefully that will root up soon. Right, now I'm just going to check this. I think this is the Eskimo. This is Croniana Eskimo, and it's very small. It's a very small cutting there, but hopefully roots will come, and it looks very pretty online. So if you're wondering about my tags, upside down tags, I got a new little machine to do my lettering, which is very handy, so I'll show you that as well. Okay, did we have anything else from there? I think that might have been it. Okay, not sure what comes next, but this is slightly more recent. So this is Hoya Matilde Silver, and I don't think it's a splash one, but it certainly looks quite splashy, and it's very pretty. Can you see that one there? It's healthy looking. It's a decent size cutting, and yeah, I'm hoping that comes good very soon. So that was from a company on Etsy called Rarehoyauk UK. Now I'm just going to have a look at this one because I've not got a label on it and I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Does it look like an Etsy? So yeah, as I say, I bought them mainly from Etsy and eBay, and a lot of both companies, both places actually, are very good communicators, but Etsy specifically, people tend to know their plants and tend to be very helpful. So I'm just finding out the name of this wee guy here. Can you see? Another very pretty one. I'm feeling like, even though there's some bubbles around the outside, a lot of the perlite's quite dried out now. I have sprayed it before with water. So this wee guy here is Hoya Houk variegated. Probably said that all wrong, but I'll put it at the bottom of the screen anyway so you can see. And from the same company I also got this, which is ready rooted. This is a very wee, but hoping it's going to grow very well, is a Hoya carnosa compacta Hindi rope. Yeah. So I've always admired these, they always look really elegant. Those two were from the same company, Little Green Soul, and they were very good and very good communication from them, and that was on eBay. Next we have, again from Etsy. Actually, we'll do this one first because it's still on eBay. This is my most recent one. And this is a Hoya called Rebecca. This one's a bit damper because I ran it through the tap when it arrived. And it's also rooted already. It's from mondoexotica on eBay. And yeah, it looks good. I really like the look of the flowers of Rebecca. And it's a bit more of a slightly more unusual, as far as I can tell from looking at things online, slightly more unusual Hoya. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. That I think is what a peduncle looks like. You know, it's like a straight bit coming out, and because it's so young it probably won't come to anything, but I imagine that's where the flowers come from. And then you get the vines that come out and they try and attach to things, and then you get the leaves later on the vines. You can see it on this one here, how we've got a vine and then the leaves sort of come out later. So you just get a bare vine and you're like, what is this? And then the leaves attach later. They don't attach, they don't fly in from somewhere and glue themselves on. They grow from the thing, obviously. I'll shut up now. Right, okay, what else do we have to look at here? We have this. Now I ran out of, I've got these domed kind of cloches. One's quite big, you'll see in the picture, and one's smaller that I'd had before. So I ran out of room for all my Hoyas. So this one's just in a bag just now. I've ordered another big cloche and we'll see. I'll open it up. So, because this is a slightly bigger chap. This is Hoya Houk. Now, I'll show you the original thing that I bought and then show you this one. So, the Houk has these lovely heart-shaped leaves. So I bought this in a local supermarket, and of course it's around Valentine's Day. And then read online, much to my disappointment, look at tiny little pot, read online, that's quite pretty. So unless it's got a bit of a stem attached to it, which is quite unusual, it's not going to grow to anything, it's just going to stay as one leaf. And I thought, oh, I quite fancied having a Houk. So I bought this one. Again, it's a cutting, but it's quite a substantial cutting. Let's try and get it out without. So this hasn't been with me long, still nice and moist, and it's got a little bit of pattern on the leaves, a little bit of splashy leaves, which is lovely. So this has nothing on it because it was really just to keep the bag off the plant, but I will give it a proper label. So this one is, let's see, Hoya Houk from a company on eBay. It's just a person's name, so I'm not going to say their name online on there. If it's a company I would, but yeah, so this came from eBay. It looks lovely, and hopefully will root for me quite soon. and I'll get it in a proper humidity situation. I'll leave that there just now. Okay, so my other quite big one is this one. Huh, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Big fleshy leaves, big waxy leaves. So this one is Hoya obovata, again from eBay, and again from the same person I got the other one from, actually. So these two big guys came from the same lady. Pretty cool. So I'm hoping they root soon. I didn't use any rooting hormone. Normally I would, to give them the best chance possible, but I thought I would just keep it simple. I'd put them in the perlite, give them a wee water, give them some humidity and some heat, and hope for the best. So I believe I might see some kind of root action in about 3 weeks. None of these have been with me longer than 2 weeks, so let's just see what happens. Okay, I think the last one I've got, well, the second last one I've got here was another Etsy purchase. This is very cute. Now, ignore the Christmas pudding thing I've got it in, because I just wanted a wee decorative thing, and that's all I had for such a small pot. So this is Hoya Flamingo Dream. And it looks like all the new leaves will be that lovely flamingo colour, and then it'll settle into being the variegated look. So it's a very small pot. It is rooted, but I'm very pleased with it. It's very lovely. So I think that is everything apart from this, right? This is typical. I bought all these cuttings. I planted them all in the perlite. I gave them all the humidity and all the things that they like to grow. And I think by the time you bought them, you know, the cheapest cutting's about £5 maybe. And they go up to, if they're more substantial, to maybe about 10. Then you're paying for postage, which you get them in these nice little boxes, all well packaged. You'll see from the unboxing videos. So you're paying for that as well. So you might be £15 per cutting or per lot. I normally spend about £10 per cutting. And then I went to my local supermarket the other day, and I always have a wee look at their plants. It was a Tesco. I always have a wee look at their plants, see if there's anything interesting. Sometimes they have slightly unusual orchids. I've got a few quite good ones from there, and they had this massive specimen, absolutely beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's so healthy, and yeah, I love Hoya, the heart. Just beautiful. They had 2 of them, and I told my friend straight away, I said, oh, if you're interested, they've got these. And that whole thing was £10 with the ceramic. And it's very healthy and it's beautiful, and I like the way it's on the trellis. Yeah, that whole thing was £10. So it just shows you, doesn't it? I don't know, as I say, what kind it is. It's not variegated. It's lovely green waxy leaves. You might have more of a, it had a label in it that just said Hoya on heart trellis. So if and when it flowers, you might have a better idea then of what kind it is. I'm sure you guys might know. There's lots of Hoya enthusiasts out there. You might have a good, I'll give you a close-up look. So it's all green, lovely green waxy leaves. If you know what it is, let me know. I'd be very interested. Okay, so that's everything I've got just now. And I'll tell you what else I have ordered. That's all the individual stuff that has arrived. And I am waiting for the chat at Hoya House UK. Was so lovely and so helpful that once I got my cuttings, I immediately ordered more from him, and they've not arrived yet because he doesn't send them unless it's warmer weather, you know, and they're not going to get damaged in the post with the cold.
Right.
So the ones that I'm waiting coming are Hoya australis, one node, one leaf. Hoya Caroniana splash, one node, two leaves. These are all about, the first one, the australis was £4.60. The Croniana splash was £3.90. The next one is Hoya pubicalyx silver splash, £6.90 for that one, which is one node, two leaves. And the Hoya Bertonii, one node, two leaves, and that's £5. So with the postage and everything, a £16.32. I think that was that the total. And that's Hoya House UK, so that's coming soon. That's estimated delivery the 5th to the 6th of March, so he's waiting till it warms up a little bit. The other lot that I've got coming is also from Etsy, I think, and it's the Hoya Beginner Starter Bundle Fresh Cutting Plant House Pack. So you get 5 species with delivery. That's £21.15. That is expected quite soon, anytime between the 14th to the 19th of February. So I think we're on the 16th today. And that's from Rarehoyauk UK, which is where I got one of these guys from. So Rarehoyauk UK, where I got this lovely Matilde silver from. So that's good, looking forward to that. That should be any day now. And then hopefully that's me. I've settled down. No more Hoyas until I've made this lot work and look gorgeous. So I am a complete novice with Hoyas. It's only what I've read or what I've seen other plant people on YouTube do with their Hoyas. That's all I know. So I know they like sort of the usual sort of indirect bright light. Some of them don't. I know that they don't want too much water, but they do want to have, they do obviously need watered, but not too much. I don't know about feeding. I normally just give my general house plants that aren't orchid a bit of baby bio, a few drops of baby bio in the water every month or so, to give them some nutrients. So yes, so not too much water. Once these guys have rooted, I shall see about potting them on. I think maybe not root bound, but I don't think they like excess room in their pots, because obviously that'll store water and it might root rot the roots. So yeah, so more of the sort of little pot action, I think. As I say, I've got this lot on heat mats just now. Not the rooted ones, but the ones that I need to root. If anyone's got any hints, tips, any care guides they can give me, please let me know down below, because that would be hugely useful. Because I'm very much a starter beginner, and these wee guys worry me a little bit that there's, got my hand in the way, put down my tea. These wee guys worry me a little bit that getting roots from them might be hard work. Do people root in water? Do they root in different mediums? Do they use a root hormone powder? I don't know. I think from what I've read, Hoyas aren't that difficult to root, but I want to give them the best possible chance. And do with the perlite, I mean, I've just been wetting it with a spray gun every now and again, just to keep the moisture in there. Do I need to do that? I have no idea. It seems you get little water droplets further down, but maybe sort of humidity stuff, but it feels dry on the top, so I don't know. Try my best. But if you've got any hints and tips, yeah, do let me know, and I'll keep you updated how this goes. It's kind of like, it's always good to have a project kind of late winter, early spring, before things really start kicking off in the garden or with the house plants. So this is my project just now. I'm quite taken with it. You know, it's been a while since there's been a new plant variety that I've really enjoyed and this has really caught my imagination, so hopefully I can see it through and find a good place for all these guys to live when they get a wee bit bigger. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. It's lovely to see you all again. I hope life is good and treating you well, and you're getting some bright days where you can feel the spring on you, you know, and get out and about, or depending where you are in the world, you might be in the midst of summer, you never know. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you again soon. Take care, bye bye. Labeling system, my new labeling system for my plant tags. Right, so what I've got now is this nifty little machine. I bought it just after Christmas as a kind of gift for myself, as you do. Oops, upside down. So it's the Brother P-Touch D410, and you can connect it to your PC if you're that way inclined. So what I do, there's a whole lot of different kinds of labels you can get for it. You can buy them online, you can buy them in stationery shops like Diamonds and things. I've got all different kinds, and this one's very good. This, you can actually do ribbons to wrap people's parcels and print their names on them and happy birthday. It's really cool. Lots of different colours and kinds. But for my plant labels, I tend to just use the clear ones, the 12mm clear ones. So I'll just switch it on, and I'm going to label this wee guy here so I don't forget him again. And I'm going to just delete the last one I did. You can save the ones you've done, or you can get rid of them. So it comes up like that on the screen. Oh, easy. And then we're just going to push the print button. Now this is the only thing that annoys me about this, is it'll kick out a little bit of your label first every single time. So you're wasting this little bit every single time before you print a label. Very annoying. Okay, and that's what it looks like. So, because this is only a little pot, I think I'll need one of the smaller labels if the name's not too long to go on it. It is a little bit. You could also do it in a smaller font, which would make more sense. But in this instance, just to show you, I'm going to put it on a bigger label. Now, I'm notoriously rubbish for labelling my plants, so with these new Hoyas, I'm trying really hard to know what they are. So having a sort of permanent permanent tagging them will really be helpful. It won't rub off and it won't hopefully disappear. I'm just sticking the label onto a plant tag. Oops. And I also find it helpful to put where I got them and the year I got them. You'll be reading the whole date that they arrived. That is quite a long name. Did I spell variegated right? I bet I didn't. So that's meant to be an E, not a variegated. It's a variegated. So that's, you get the idea anyway. That's the plant tags, and on the back I would put where I bought them and the date that I received it, and that just keeps everything right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do it smaller, spelt correctly, on a smaller tag, smaller font, and we'll take it from there. But it's a very useful bit of kit. I'd label all my, for baking and things, I've got all my different kinds of flowers, for bread flowers or self-raising flowers or plain flowers. I've got them all labelled with this. I've got things at work labelled with it, like that's my stapler, don't touch it. I've got, you know, it's a very useful wee machine, and you don't realise how often you'll use it till you've got it, and then there's all sorts that you can label with it. So we've got little writing here. We've got the Hoya, oops, yeah, they're variegated. The Hoya House variegated on that side, and on the other side we have bought it from eBay and it delivered on that date, and that can be put into a little pot to keep us right, like that. So it's a really handy tool to have.